Giroud, saying the Leeds are the hardest team physically he's played against in a long time. But listen to this, I'm just hearing that Chelsea are the first team in the Premier League this season to outrun Leeds.
Wow.
By 6 kilometres today.
Wow, wow. Well, and that's what you need to do to beat them. You need to physically match them and go over them. But that is for me, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. I didn't think that a team in the Premiership would be able to do that. I've been following them for a long time, and I've also covered a lot of matches of them in the Championship. And I know that they cover the pitch very, very well and a lot. And for Chelsea to do that, yeah, surprised me. But happily surprised me, eh?
Yeah. You don't normally see the better players, the better teams, let's say, putting in work rate like that, because naturally they'd have the ball more. And you'd normally say the team without the ball has to do more running to chase the ball back. So it's a good stat that Frank Lampard will be delighted with that, delighted with his fitness levels of his team. And if you outrun Leeds, then you've got a chance, because they can smother you with their energy, with their style of play. And it was a good game today, but of course the class just told in the end.
Yeah, and you know, that's managerial research and knowing what you've got to do. I'm hearing that's 11 kilometres over their average they've run today.
They had to do it. They had to do it.
Yeah, they had to do it. But
that's a big compliment to Leeds as well.
No, but yes, but the thing is, Leeds takes you to that extreme. If you want to beat them, you have to stick with them. And if you do that, you have a chance. If you don't, other teams have shown you they can't, and they lose this. You know, it's just that's how they approach the game. Yeah, they have got problems when they lose the ball and in other bits and pieces, and like every other system or every other identity. But to be able to beat them, you have to be able to stay with them, and not a lot of teams can.
And they were behind, of course. But then this man, Giroud, we've just heard from, you both said beforehand he had to start. It comes a time where he's got to start in the Premier League, and he always scores. All round today, as well as that equalising goal, which was very important.
Yeah, well, he is an all-round player, isn't he? He doesn't set your pulse racing because he hasn't got electric pace. He doesn't do the exciting thing, doesn't beat 5 players and smack them in the top corner, but he's a very, very functional player that adds so much to the team. You know, he can hold the ball up, you can bounce off him, he scores goals. As I said before the game and at half-time, he's underrated in terms of the movement. Just because he's a big lad, it doesn't mean he doesn't nip in front of his men. Look at that near-post runner, has been the theme of the day. And he's brilliant at moving, and he scores plenty of goals. Why isn't he the #1 choice as centre-forward? And we've been asking that for many, many years. I don't know. I do like him. In fact, I think he's brilliant. But if you play him every week, can you go and win the league? I mean, he's proven at the moment, he's in red-hot form that, yes, but, you know, he's not just come around, you know, he's been on the scene for 10, 12 years. And this is just goes to show, Jimmy, as well, some of the other bits to his game that he contributes.
Michael, the team plays better when he is playing. He makes them tick that extra, you know, when he is up front. He players around him, he doesn't score enough. I think he can score more, but players around him play better because he brings them in. Look, how so good that is, you know. As Michael said, he's a big lad, but technically he's sound. He's sound, you know.
It does raise the question, though, doesn't it? Because I think what you've got to be careful of is getting caught up in the moment. I watched him score 4 in midweek. I've seen him play again today. He's one of the best players on the pitch again today. So automatically get wrapped up. But hang on a minute. He has been around, as I say, 10 odd years. Why did Arsenal, you know, let him go? Why have Chelsea rarely played him? He was close to leaving a season or so ago because there was a World Cup at the end, and all these reasons he had to start playing. A lot of top managers haven't started him consistently. It's not to say he's a bad player, but we're talking elite. He's a World Cup winner.
He starts for France.
But we're talking elite, you know, to win the Premier League. You need one of the best few in the world.
But I tell you what, Mike, why? Because he is not been scoring regularly, but he's been doing other things well, making other people play better and letting other people score more goals. We all, you know, when you have a successful team, we all always look at the striker scoring 30 goals. But he's not that kind of person. Yes, he scored in midweek 4 goals, but it hasn't happened that often. And if you look how many hat-tricks he has, I don't think that he has a lot of hat-tricks. But he does make other people around him.
So he shouldn't be
play
judged on numbers in terms of goals then? That's what you're saying.
I don't think that he's that kind of player. You know, we all have our strengths, as we were speaking about in the beginning of the show, you know. And I think that is his strength, making other people, you know, play better. And of late, he's scoring also more. And important goals, because like today, 1-0. He scores a lot of 1-0s, 1-1s, 2-1s. And not a lot of strikers do that. And the strikers that score 1-0 and important goals, those are the strikers that you want.
Can you get your head around a striker not being judged on numbers and goals? You can't, can you? Come on, be honest with me.
Sort of. I would like to be one myself. Let other people do that.
True, not me.
I hear Jimmy. I do hear Jimmy, and I agree with him, and I watch him and I admire him. I think he's very World Cup winner, as you say, Steve.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I really
0
rate
goals.
him. But exactly, yeah, no goals in the
0
World Cup.
goals.
Yeah.
World Cup winner in the tournament, no goals.
Does that matter? Show me your medal.
He
Show me
played
your
every
medal.
match. Why did he play every match?
Because he's a team player.
Yeah, of course. And he's a very good player. But not everyone's wrong about him. I mean, would you play him every
have the
single
answer
week
quicker
to
than
win?
you, but,
Yeah, I know. But would you play him every single week if you were trying to win the league? I think you'd probably be looking for someone a little bit better.
Well, here's another one
That's
for you.
what's happened throughout
It's
his
going to
career.
raise the question again of the speculation in January about him wanting to leave because, guess what? He wants to start in the Euros for France.
Yeah.
Can Chelsea win the league if they let Giroud go in January?
I don't think that they can afford to let Giroud go. Even if he's not number one, coming off the bench and making something different. I know that he is going to want to leave, but I think Frank has to be very selfish there and say no. Maybe he can call Deschamps and have that conversation with Deschamps, saying, okay, what does he need to do to be in your team? How much does he need to play? And have that conversation with Giroud. You know, okay, you're going to play this amount of matches, you know, for sure, so that you can go to the European Championship. I don't know, but maybe Frank has to be a little bit creative to just keep him, because I think he's important for it. And his teammates, they love him. They love him. So to keep that together is also important.
But Frank did try to sell him a year ago. He was willing to let him
Managers
go.
do change their mind.